Have you ever been in the situation where you were super excited to fire up Lightroom Classic to start editing one of your amazing photos? Maybe from a cool trip you went on or something like that, only to discover noise. Loads and loads of noise. In this video we shall have a look at Adobe's new feature, the Denoise AI, and we'll compare that to Topaz Denoise AI. That I actually spent $80 on just before Adobe released this Denoise AI feature. So we'll denoise 3 images and we will compare them side by side, denoise in Adobe and denoise in Topaz AI. So let's start with the first image. Alright then, now we are here in my office. It looks like, let's do the grand tour. It looks like this. This is my desk. Here's a light I use. And there's another light I use to have a different color in the background. Here are some shirts and that's the bedroom. Before this turns into a house tour, let's continue with the edit. Starting with this picture right here, jumping into Lightroom now, as they say on YouTube. And as you can see, I was underexposing this image. I was a little bit nervous when I got this. I guess I was very close to this line. So I'm just going to quickly edit this, starting with the exposure. So let's start with using Adobe's Denoise AI first. And that is here, noise reduction. And we can talk a little bit about that. Take a look at this. Okay, so it renders the preview quite fast. At least it does that on my MacBook Pro M1 Max. 64 gigs of RAM and all that stuff. So you can see here, look at this. This is before, and this is after. And I've just put it to 100% now, so you can see what it can do. Obviously, you can tune this a little bit to your liking if you want. If you want it to look a bit more natural, I don't know. Anyway, let's find an eye, because that's where I'm really interested to see if it preserves the details. And look at this. I'm going to take it all the way up to 100 now. That's, yeah, I haven't used this denoise feature too much, so I'm just curious to see how far it can go. And here we have, this is the enhanced, i.e. the AI denoise feature. And this is without. So you can see it preserves the details quite nicely. It looks a little bit digital maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. So it looks like this. I think that's quite good actually. The other eye here, because that's what matters. Yeah, I think this looks really good, to be quite honest with you. Look at the hair right here as well. And you can see it sharpens the image and it takes away the noise. So let's click enhance, and this will give us another TIFF file with this edit. So what I would typically do is edit this, or finish the edit on this picture and then denoise it. So I would do all the local adjustments, first the base adjustments, then the local adjustments, then hit denoise. So use the denoise feature, and it, as you can see, it takes a little while. Not that long. And this is a big file as well. It's 50 megapixels, I think. Okay, so here we have the denoised picture. And this is the original. I think this looks fantastic. So when I did this underexposed image, I was a little bit bummed out because I really loved the pose of this line. I was very close. It was a great experience. By the way, if you want to see what I do in Africa, you can check out my series where I spent 6 months there in Africa and made a 10-episode series where my car broke down all the time, and that's when I really learned how to do wildlife photography, by being out in the field by myself in Botswana for 6 months. Yeah, enough about that. I'll link to that video series down in the description, or you can see up here or somewhere. Okay, this is impressive, I must admit. It's very impressive. Now, let's try Topaz AI Denoise or Denoise AI. And we can edit in Topaz Denoise AI. I paid $80 for this, and that's only 1 year license, boys and girls. So we shall see, is this really necessary? Obviously we have a few other pictures as well in different genres, so we can have a little bit of variation, because I think the effects of these two programs, or these two denoise features, have different effects on different types of photos. Stay tuned, stick around to see. And we are going to do exactly the same here. Just remove noise all the way up to 100 and enhance sharpness. You have more features or more adjustment possibilities in Topaz Denoise. I don't know which one is better, so I'm just going to go all the way up to 100 on both of them. And here as well you can see it removes the noise quite nicely. I like the interface of Topaz AI better than on the Lightroom, because you can easily just pan around the image or whatever you say, and we can have a look at this. Okay, so this is the interesting thing. Yeah, you can see it takes away a little bit of the detail here in Topaz AI Denoise. Maybe that has something to do with, yeah, if you take down enhance sharpness, it will get the details a little bit back, but not much. The other eye here. Okay, so it preserves, it definitely reduces the noise, does a fantastic job, this program as well, and preserves the details, or the sharpness and the details, and on the places where I would like to preserve sharpness and details in the eyes. Let's hit apply, and we will get another TIFF in Adobe Lightroom Classic. Let's have a look-see. Takes a little bit while. The process of getting this from Topaz takes less time than using Adobe Denoise, I noticed. And click 100, 200. This is zoomed in 200%, and here is the file exported from Topaz Denoise. This is our raw file. Now, let's do the compare. We are zooming in 200%, and here you can see the edit TIFF from Topaz compared to the original file. So you lose a little bit of detail in the eye socket, or around the eye there. And it looks a little bit too digital, I don't know, but this is zoomed into 100%, so this is more, well, I guess you can say natural, but it looks so much better. Now, let's have a look at enhance noise reduction from Adobe Lightroom AI. Here you can see that it has preserved more detail in and around the eyes. Now let's compare. Click C for compare. So on the right side is the Topaz AI Denoise, and on the left side we have Adobe Noise Reduction, the Lightroom feature. It's quite clear to me that for this image right here, I think the denoise in Adobe does a much better job. Let's zoom in just for fun to 400%. When would you ever do that? If it looks sharp on 100% zoomed in, I think you're good to go. But you can see here, Topaz removes detail for sure, preserves the details in Adobe Denoise. As you can see, let's see in the background there. Yeah, and here as well on the, it looks like the Topaz gets better detail in the hairs. I don't really care too much about that because it's sharp anyway. Let's see the other eye. Yeah, I must say that this is definitely a win for Adobe AI noise reduction. Go out again and look at the background. Yeah, definitely. I definitely like Adobe's noise reduction better than Topaz for this particular image. Let me know what you think in the comments, and will you use this feature, this Adobe AI denoise feature? That would be interesting to know. But this has definitely saved this image. It wasn't too bad from the start, but it wasn't completely destroyed either when I took the image, like underexposed. So I had a good chance of saving it. And this was quite a fast process as well. So yeah, and a win for Adobe Denoise AI right there. It's not that often I'm so excited about a new update from Adobe Lightroom, but this definitely deserves this video. And I think from editing this first lion picture, it goes to show that I don't think I need Topaz AI. I spent $80 on that, and that's only for 1 year license coming from Topaz Denoise AI. I think that's a lot. And when the feature in Lightroom is this good, I don't think I really need it. But let's do a few more images and see how they compare in a different genre. Okie dokie, now we are going to try the denoise of this image right here. This was way back in 2019 where I did street photography in Ginza, I think, using the Fujifilm X-T30. I think that was the camera I used. There's a video from that POV street photography video from that session as well. Let's have a look at it. It looks, yeah, it has a lot of noise. I was shooting at ISO 6400, so this was pushing the camera limits, and it is noisy. For Instagram, where I would typically post this image, I don't think people wouldn't care about a little bit of noise in the background there. But let's start the denoise process with Adobe Denoise. And we can look at, so this is before and this is after. Takes away all the noise, absolutely all the noise. And it looks, I think this looks great. Let's just click enhance. Not going to spend that much time on these next images because we already know it does a great job. Maybe the next image after this we shall spend a little bit more time because there are so many details in that particular image. Look at this. Oh, sorry. Look at this. Wow, you can see the raindrops here, and there is no noise in the background. Maybe a little bit, but definitely not noticeable. So this means you can shoot with much higher ISOs, in my opinion, and you can still preserve the details. You can have a very crisp, clean image. Okie dokie. Let's try this with Topaz and see if we can find any differences. Here we go. I'm just going to put it all the way to 100 again on both remove noise and enhance sharpness. Hit apply, and it's still faster than Adobe Denoise, but here you can see, look at this. This is Adobe, this is the raw file, and this is Topaz. Let's hit compare. C as a quick key. So here you can see. On the left side we have Adobe, on the right side we have Topaz. going to click 400%. Still can't tell that big of a difference, to be quite honest with you, at least not in the background blur there. But the Adobe Denoise seems to, here as well, preserve the details. Like you can see on the raindrops here, you can see the raindrops much more clear in Adobe Denoise after denoising in Adobe, versus Topaz. You can also see a little bit more noise, I think. That's interesting. Let's check the details. Details of the umbrella. I think it looks a bit more natural, to be honest with you, on the Topaz image right here. Sharper, but it looks almost a little bit too fake maybe on Adobe Denoise, but that's me nitpicking. They both do a great job, and you can adjust this to your liking, so you don't have to go all the way to 100% like I did. But here, yeah, I think when I zoom out again, the Topaz Denoise image looks a bit more natural. Yeah, that's what I take from this. Both do a great job. Okie dokie. That was that. From a session I did in Tokyo with the Fujifilm X-T30, yes, with a higher ISO. Now let's do another image with urban landscaping or landscape photography, also in Tokyo from a very cool location, and see how this huge image compares when we denoise it in Topaz and in Adobe Lightroom. Okay, the final image, maybe I'll do a bonus image at the end, we shall see, is this one. This is when I snuck up on a rooftop in Tokyo, boys and girls, and this is the Tokyo Skytree, you can see here. We haven't pushed this that much, but it's taken with ISO 800, and this was taken on my Panasonic S1 with the when you stitch the image together, so you get a huge image, and this is, I think it's 104 megapixels. 12,000 by 8,000 pixels right there. You can see that up here. So what I'm curious to find out in this image is how well, of course, it denoises the image and how well it preserves the details, because we have a lot of details here since this is such a large image. You can see here I want this to be sharper and with less noise by the road here. But yeah, I think this is a nice image. It was certainly a very nice experience. I hooked up with a local Tokyo photographer, and he showed me up on a rooftop that is a little bit secret. So we basically snuck in there, but shh, don't tell anyone. We start with denoise in Lightroom. Oh yeah, denoise. Come on, there we go. And what I would like to see is on the Tokyo Skytree. Okay, all the way to take the lift all the way up. Here we go, Paralympic Games. Not the best, but it definitely sharpens the image, but it doesn't look that good. But when would you ever zoom in that much? I don't know. Yeah, blurs out or reduces the noise in the background nicely, and we're not going to spend a lot of time in here. We're just going to click enhance, and this will for sure take a while since this is such a big image, or 104 or 2 megapixels. So this is the denoised image right here. Compare it to, no, not this one, this one. Yep. You can see denoised obviously on the left side and the raw file on the right side. Goody. What can we say about this? Ooh, does not look great down by the road there when we zoom in 400%. But again, when would we do that? I don't know. From when you zoom all the way out again, I can definitely see that the denoised image is much cleaner, looks much cleaner. Yeah, and you have the sharpening. I think maybe we should focus on these buildings right here when we compare. Sharpens up-ish. Well, not too bad anyway. Okay, that's that. Now we do click out of compare and we go for denoising in, again, yeah, you guessed it, Topaz Denoise. This is going to be a long video, but I hope you enjoy it so you can see the differences. You're welcome. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. That would be great if you did. Okie dokie, look here. Okay. All the way up to 100 on remove noise and enhance sharpness. As always, same procedure as always. Hit apply. And it's definitely faster. Much faster than Adobe Lightroom, even for this huge picture. Okay, maybe not that. It says soon, but yeah, whatever. Why does it always go out of Lightroom? Why can't it just go like this? Here we go, yeah, this is the Topaz. And I'm going to compare it to, okay, Topaz on the left side and Adobe Lightroom on the right side. Woo, this is interesting. Topaz has done a much better job on this urban landscape photo, 100%. I think we can all agree. Like if you agree, that would be great as well. And subscribe if you agree as well. Let's have a look at the road there. That's what, oh yeah, oh yeah. See, I think Adobe Denoise AI is trying to overcompensate the sharpening of the image, where Topaz does just a much better job at smoothing everything out. I think I like Topaz's job of denoising and enhancing sharpness even better than Adobe. Yeah, here as well, the picture falls apart on the denoised image from Adobe AI Denoise or whatever. Versus Topaz, yeah, it doesn't look good, but it's zoomed in 400% anyway. Let's have a look at the top of the tower here. Yeah, I think Topaz has done a much better job. Yeah. Raw file. The two denoised images side by side. Yeah, definitely better job with Topaz. So I think that urban landscaping or landscape photography, Topaz does a better job, but would I really pay attention or notice this if I only had Adobe Denoise? I don't think so, because both do a great job. Let's see here. The bridge, just to check. Yeah, Topaz does a better job, for sure. Wow, this is amazing. I really like this. Okay, that's it for this image. Yeah, there you go. I think Topaz did a overall better job in this landscape photo, but I don't know if it's worth 80 bucks for only 1 year when you get it for free if you have the Adobe package. And that's it for today. Very long video this time, but I think Adobe AI deserved this, this extra attention, because this feature is only getting better and it can help save your very noisy images, maybe from low light situations or just very high ISO. Not a problem anymore in my opinion, and I think I proved that with this video. I'm still getting used to using both these programs, but I don't think I will pay the extra 80 bucks for only 1 year license using Topaz. So with that, I hope this was helpful, and if it was, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell for future, to get a notification for future content. I really appreciate that, and it helps me make more and better content for you. Alrighty then, bye bye. See you in the next video.